Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Murray's, the English Training Institute. So today in this video, we are going to learn how to write an essay, which is called So in Simple Terms. If you talk about school-going children, if you talk about college-going students, the simple term that we use here is essay writing. But if you talk about IELTS, it's referred to as a writing task, and it is numbered as writing task 2. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the steps that you need to follow while writing an essay. So here we go about it. Okay, this is the question, or you can say this is the statement that will be given to you, let's say on the day of your exam, or if you talk about the students who go to school and college, let's say it's going to be there on your paper, on your question paper, and you have to attempt it. So the question says, many people believe that social networking sites such as Facebook and Instagram, it could be many other sites, have had a huge negative impact on both individuals and society. To what extent do you agree? Now, before I move on, let me tell you one thing very clearly. It's very, very important for you to understand the question, to analyze the question, and you need to have certain points that you need to write. Just don't go about it in a vague manner. An essay writing is always a planned task. It is an organized task. So it's not unplanned or unorganized. If you write it in an unorganized manner, it's going to, lead to reduction of marks. So whatever question is asked, like here the question says, to what extent do you agree? Make sure you answer this question in a very clear manner so that the examiner knows what your viewpoint is. So I move on, and please make sure when you are, going through the video, you have a paper and a pencil or a pen with you so that you jot down what is important and you write it side by side with me only. All right. So the most important thing is to answer the question that is asked so that the examiner is clear about your viewpoint. In the very first paragraph that you write, which is also referred to as an introductory paragraph or introduction, you have to clarify what your viewpoint is. Now, let's say if you talk about this question, to what extent do you agree? Now, you have to be very clear in the first paragraph itself whether you agree to it, that yes, it has a negative impact on both society and individuals, or whether you say no, it has a very positive impact on individuals in society, or let's say you say that it has a positive impact on individuals and negative impact on society and vice versa. Whatever your opinion is, accordingly, you'll be jotting down the points and then we'll be writing an essay. Okay. And your opinion should be consistent from introduction to conclusion. Not that in introduction you say that yes, it is beneficial for an individual and it is not beneficial for the society. And when you move on to the body paragraphs, you write exactly the opposite. That should not be the case. If that is the case, it's again going to, lead to the reduction of your marks. Okay, let's talk about what the format. Here, in my viewpoint, you should always divide an essay into 4 different paragraphs. First is the introduction, and last is the conclusion. And second and third paragraph, it completely depends on the question that is given to you. Now, if I say the question is write about the advantages and disadvantages of using a mobile phone. So the second paragraph would be the advantages of mobile phone, and the third paragraph would be disadvantages of a mobile phone. Now, if you talk about this very question, the social networking sites, now in the second paragraph, you can write whatever you agree to, and in the third, you can write whatever you disagree to. It all depends on what your viewpoint is and what you mention in the introduction. Whatever you mention in the introduction will take a smooth following in the second, third paragraph, and then whatever we have written in the first, second, and third paragraph, you're going to conclude it in the fourth paragraph. Okay. Now, very, very important thing, whenever you write or read the question, you have to understand what is the broader aspect of the topic. If I don't understand the broader aspect, I will not have a very, good introduction. And if I don't have a good introduction, it will create a bad impression on the examiner. So first thing, many people believe that social networking sites. Now we are talking about social networking sites, let's say Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Now, what is the broader term, broader aspect of this line? If you talk about social media, we have technology. If you talk about birds, flowers, pollution, we have nature. If you talk about arts, culture, museums, we have history. So the first line should always be about the broader aspect. And in the question that is given to you now and for today, we are going to write something about technology. So in the next slide, I'm going to teach you how to write the first paragraph. Only the first one, then we'll move on to second, third, and so forth. Okay. First paragraph says, first line should always be about the broader aspect. Now, broader aspect here is technology. If you talk about technology, we can always write in modern or in today's times, technology is flourishing by leaps and bounds. Here, leaps and bounds means rapidly in every field, and social media is not an exception. Now, this is the first line. In the second line, what you're going to do is whatever question is given to you, you are just going to use the words that are synonymous to it. Now, the question was social networking sites such as Facebook, Instagram are thought by some people to have, in the question it says negative impact. So here I've changed negative impact to detrimental effect on individual people as well as society. And the third line would be, what is your viewpoint? Now, according to me, my viewpoint is, I'm of the opinion that these sites, or you can write these social sites, they have damaging effect on local communities. That is, local communities here is society. I'm not using the word society repeatedly, so I'm changing it to local communities, and are beneficial to an individual. I hope I'm clear with this. I'm repeating myself once again. If you're having a paper and a pen with you, you can please jot it down. The first paragraph, first line. Your introduction should not be too long. Please keep this thing in mind. The first line should be about the broader aspect. Here, the broader aspect is technology. Second line should be about the question that is given to you, but please make sure you don't copy the exact question. You use the words that are synonymous to it. And the third line should be whatever the question is. Now, whatever the question is means, in this topic, you were asked, to what extent do you agree? Now, here you have to tell what is your viewpoint. So your first paragraph would look somewhat like this. So I'm giving you 2 minutes, just go through it, then I'll move on to the second paragraph. All right. Now, when I move on to the second paragraph, I have to see the last line of my first paragraph. Here I'm telling it has a negative impact on society and it has a positive impact on individual. Now, my second paragraph would be either about individual or about society, and third would be whatever I have not written in the second. Now, I move on to the second paragraph. How does it have a positive impact on an individual? Here, children, you can write any point that you feel is good, but whatever I felt was fine for me, I wrote that. First point is, it is only because of these social networking sites that people of different countries, people of different communities, they're brought together. And once you bring these people together, they come to know more about other cultures. There is a cross-cultural connection that is formed. And if you know something about other cultures when you travel, it's easy for you to travel and know about different things. And it also widens one's mental horizons. Second point. Now, if you see about Facebook, Instagram, and other sites, they have pages which you can like. And why would you like those pages? Because you're interested in it. And by liking those pages, what would happen? You would be meeting people of different, people of different areas, but you would be sharing the similar interest. And what would happen due to it? It would help you to bolster and develop self-confidence and also hone debating and discussion skills at all levels. Here, levels would refer to as national, international, state, district, or whatever, with people who share common interests. And social media is definitely a potential goldmine of business intelligence, and it helps to uncover the industry in real time. Here it is like you don't have to go out, you don't have to do something, you just have to be at home, have a good internet connection, and operate yourself on these sites so that you get good name, good fame, good earnings. Your second paragraph would look something like this. So here I have just added a few lines. I have just, firstly, I've just done firstly, secondly, and thirdly. I have written to all these three different points. The points are exactly the same, but I have added one line in the beginning that says to embark upon. Embark here means to begin with. There are clear-cut advantages that social media has on an individual or on in an individual's life. It all depends on what you write. So I'm giving you 2 minutes, just go through it. This is somewhat your second paragraph. It would look like when you write it. All right, we move on to the third paragraph. Now that we have written about individuals in the second paragraph, we are bound to mention about society in the third paragraph. And according to me, I said that it has a detrimental effect on society. How does social media have a negative impact on the society? According to me, what I feel, it reduces face to face interaction. Why? Because these days people love spending time online. And when they spend time online, they don't really feel like meeting their own family members, and they prefer to take more interest and spend more time with people online. And people within society no longer form close or supportive relationships, due to which the families are getting disjointed and fragmented. If you talk about the previous times, I mean, recently, I could see the change in this generation itself. If you see the festivals, they were celebrated with so much of, zeal and vigor. But if you talk now, there's nobody to celebrate festivals with you, right? So the relationships are no longer the same that they used to be, and families, they're getting disjointed. Why? Because people do not spend time with each other. Earlier, families used to have dinners together, they used to sit together on the dining table and have dinners. But now everybody's so busy having mobile phones in their hands, and they're just going around, and somebody's having dinner in the bedroom, somebody's having it in the dining room, right? So your third paragraph would look something like this. Social media has a negative impact on the society as it reduces face-to-face interaction. Individuals prefer to take more interest and spend more time with people online. People within society no longer form close or supportive relationships, due to which the families are getting disjointed and fragmented. We move on to the last paragraph, that is called as conclusion. Now, whatever you have written in paragraph 2 and 3 mainly, you're going to write it in the conclusion, but please try to use different words. Don't copy exactly the lines from second and third paragraph. And to conclude, now the social media or social networking sites, they have brought the individuals closer, but its effect on society was completely different. Individuals should try to get more involved in local communities or gatherings in order to promote a healthy and long lasting community life. I hope you're clear with how to write an essay. It should be divided into 4 different paragraphs: your introduction, your 2 body paragraphs, which would completely depend on the question that is given to you, and the third would be the conclusion. And your answer or your essay would look somewhat like this, right? So I'm giving you 2 minutes, just go through it. And if you have any doubts, you can please message. I would try and clarify it as soon as possible.